Hello, everyone, and welcome to our program titled All Things Energy for MANTEC Clients. My name is Carrie Shepard, Marketing Analytics Manager for APPI Energy, and I'll be your moderator for today's webinar. Please note that all participant lines are muted. Please submit questions anytime during the session by using the Q&A box on the bottom of your screen. Our presenter today is Jane Seagraves Sidebottom, Vice President, Marketing and Business Development with APPI Energy. Welcome, Jane. Let's get started.
Great. Thank you so much, Carrie. I certainly appreciate that introduction. And I appreciate everybody that's joined us today. And we wanted to certainly give a shout out to MANTEC and all that we have done together. Quite frankly, for the last 10 years, we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary with MANTEC and working with so many of their clients and helping them reduce and manage their energy spend. And I did include today a map of the United States. I know MANTEC is located, obviously, in the York area in Pennsylvania. However, you may have some additional colleagues, perhaps, that may be located in other deregulated states. So I wanted to share with everyone and let you know that the green states are, in fact, the deregulated states for electricity and natural gas in the United States. And the blue states are those states that are just deregulated for natural gas. So that is the footprint in which we work currently throughout the US. And perhaps we can help one of your clients in another state. So some things I'm going to talk about today include the industry, what's going on in the energy industry today, talking a little bit about the procurement process, and then finally ending up with energy solutions. So these would be different avenues that you can take as measures to decrease your energy usage and all around consumption. So a little bit about the energy markets today. I chose to look at the PJM, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Maryland wholesale market because that, of course, is where we're located. And what I wanted to share with you here in both of these charts really is to look at the volatility that we're seeing in both the electricity market as well as the natural gas market. And the other thing to note is to look at how low both of these markets are currently. So that's a great opportunity for you to consider getting into a new contract and start hedging that contract today for a future start date, and we can help you with that. And when we talk about the prices for the price to compare, for instance, down at the left lower corner, this chart depicts the Med-Ed service territory, which many of you are located in, and the bar graph shows you what the Med-Ed price to compare is. So if you stayed with the utility, that would be the price that you would have paid. And you can see that that fluctuates on a quarterly basis. And the line graph shows you the competitive pricing that we've been able to get in the market from the many different suppliers that we work with in any given market. In totality, we work with about 36 suppliers that we know, like, and trust. And that's a good benefit for you as well. But you can see that the supplier prices that we get in are much lower than what you would be getting from Med-Ed had you not moved off the tariff. And the next chart shows you really what we do in the procurement process. The first thing that we're going to do is do a customized analysis for you, look at your load profile individually, and we would look at your energy usage and forecast what your needs may be going forward. And we'll gather your bills and have you sign what's called an LOA, a letter of authorization. And then we'll put together an RFP. We'll structure that RFP and submit that out to the vetted suppliers, again, that we know, like, and trust in your market. And then we ask for pricing to come back on a certain day from all of those different suppliers so that we can truly have a green apples to green apples comparison for you to look at. And we can then look at the when would be a good time to buy and for how long would be a good time for you to be into a new contract. And then we'll continue to negotiate that price for you. If there are certain things in the contract that you want negotiated out of the contract, because keep in mind, it is not always just about price. There are other elements to an energy contract that we can certainly help you with. And speaking of price, this shows you an example of a pricing proposal that we've gotten in from all the different suppliers. You can see in this example, this happened on April the 1st for a contract that's not going to start until February of 2020. So these are all the different suppliers that chose to bid on this load and hedge this load for this client. And you can see that AEP for a 12-month contract, quite frankly, was the lowest price that we've received. And the Constellation at a 36-month contract was the highest price that we received. So depending on what your needs are, because you may want to only negotiate a 3-year contract. So we can really hone in on that and look to see what else we can garner from the market, and if we can negotiate a little bit more in the market for a 36-month contract. And these are over on the right-hand side are some key supplier selection criteria that we work with. And of course, price is one of the key factors, right? We all want to save money, and we work diligently to make sure that we have the most competitive suppliers in the market for you. Contract terms. We do have corporate counsel on staff that reviews all of these contracts to make sure that they are, in fact, great contract terms for you. And if there is anything in the particular contract that you want readdressed, we can certainly do that for you. And then we look at the supplier viability. We certainly want to make sure that they have an impeccable customer service reputation, as well as a strong financial reputation. And then throughout the process, and once the process of signing a new contract has taken place, then our customer service team oftentimes will be there to help you, and well, they're always there to help you. Sometimes you may need help, sometimes you may not. I often say, I say to my clients, you can call Verizon yourself, or you can have us do that for you, which is something that we do, and it certainly saves our clients a lot of time and headache. So we make sure there's a seamless transition with the new contract. We do have a bat phone, I like to call it, to the suppliers and the utilities so that we can interact on your behalf. We will continue to monitor the market, look for future cost reductions. Again, maybe you only signed a 12-year contract. Well, we can be in the market for you pretty immediately after that contract begins and start negotiating a new contract on your behalf. And we'll look at those data points to see when the next best opportunity is for you to get into the market. And then we'll, of course, look for tax exemptions, because as manufacturers, there are portions of your bill that is able to qualify for tax exemptions. And we'll make sure that that happens. And if it hasn't happened, we can even go back up to 3 years to get monies back for you. So keep that in mind as well. And then our Energy Solutions division, we have been working in the energy solutions arena for many, many years, including helping clients with solar fields or LED projects. But we've really begun to elaborate on this and to really add additional elements, that it's not a one one product suits all type of product line, because it may be that you need HVAC upgrade, or it may be that you want to look at combined heat and power, or battery artificial intelligence, different ways, and everybody has a different need for their facility. Maybe it's a demand response program that may be lucrative for you to enter into. So we've combined all of these efforts and created the Energy Solutions division so that we truly can be all things energy to the MANTEC clients, both on the procurement side as well as the demand side, and reducing your consumption for price savings or cost savings going way into the future. And then these are some of the, looking at an LED lighting retrofit, for instance. We'll do a facility audit for you and make sure that you're a good candidate for it. Let's look at the ROI and determine whether or not this will be a good project for you. Oftentimes with manufacturers, LED projects are a home run because it all depends on the burn time. So if you're running shifts, I'll say 24/5, that's a great opportunity because your plants are always open and your lights are always on. So that's a great opportunity. And we'll look at the engineering and design. We'll see what we can do there. We'll look for additional rebates. Perhaps PA Act 129 may come into play for you, for your facility. It depends on really the utility. Each utility offers different rebates and at different times. So we'll look at that. We'll take away the old lights or old equipment, and then we will continue to see how we fare going forward and look for additional ways in which we can reduce your lighting or other areas. Maybe it is HVAC or controls or demand response again. And this is just an example of a client that we had, and they had the old T8 lighting, and now they went to the new LED lighting. There are fewer lights. They saved 68% on their lighting energy cost, and 40% of the project was given back in rebates to the client. So, and they have zero maintenance on lighting for 5 years because these lights are guaranteed. And if anything happens to them, they will come out and replace them free of charge for you. And then a little bit about APPI. We have been in business since 1996. I like to say that we're an old company in a young industry because, of course, deregulation began in around 95. And we work with about 15,000 commercial and industrial accounts throughout the U.S., as I mentioned previously and shared with you our geographic chart. And in Pennsylvania alone, just in the Commonwealth, we work with about 8,000 accounts. So we know Pennsylvania in and out, and it's been a great working relationship with MANTEC, of course, and many other associations in Pennsylvania, including YCEA is another one that we work with, and the Hanover Chamber is another chamber, and Pennsylvania Chamber. So we are in the backyard and understand manufacturing. In fact, about 43% of our client base alone is in manufacturing. So indeed, we understand manufacturing. And we service about 10 billion kWh and about 18 million decatherm. And we have 42 employees located here in Salisbury, Maryland. I will tell you, Pennsylvania is my home away from home, and I'm there often. And last year, we won the Energy Professionals Association awarded us the Consultant of the Year for 2017 and 2018. So a great feather in our cap to be awarded designation from our peers in the industry, something that we're really proud of. And I think that's really what I wanted to share with you today. And I do appreciate everyone's time today. I made this as brief as I can because I know you're extremely busy and doing amazing things in the manufacturing world and keeping those goods and services coming. So thank you for what you do. And I hope that this has given a little bit of light for what we do and how we can help you.
Thank you, Jane. At this point, we do invite participants to ask questions through our webcast system. If you have difficulty sending your questions, please email them to jseagraves@appenergy.com. Jane, I do have a question for you. What if I am currently in a contract and I know it does not expire until October 2020?
Right. So that is a great question. And in fact, October of 2020 is going to be here before you know it, of course. And that's an opportunity for us to get into the market for you today. So let's begin the process. And we can start looking at pricing today for a contract that will begin after your current contract expires. And it's not too early to be in the market today. As I mentioned, the markets are very low, and we do anticipate an uptick in that. So if we can capture the softness in the market right now and lock in a price for you that begins in 2020, it's truly a win-win. And so let's take a look. And we might not even find that. So don't feel as though you have to lock in, but it may be a great opportunity.
Great. Thank you, Jane. I do have another question for you. With the Energy Solutions Division, can you explain a little more detail what an optimal lighting retrofit client may look like?
Right. Yeah. So as I did mention, I think before, but an optimal client would be one that has a long burn time. So for instance, we work with a lot of banks in the Commonwealth, but you can imagine their burn time is, they operate from 8 to 4 and not much in between or more than that. So they don't have a large burn time. The ROI for a project at branches at a bank is much longer than the ROI that we're seeing with manufacturers. Manufacturers are indeed optimum because you have a longer burn time. You're oftentimes at least having 2 shifts a day and maybe even 3 shifts a day. So that's what we look for, and that would be optimum and a great way for you to save money and get those rebates and have a wonderful ROI. And it's just been an amazing product to help with.
Thank you. At this time, it looks like we have no further questions. Thank you to everyone for participating today. A special thank you to our presenter, Jane Seagraves Sidebottom. Today's program is copyright 2019 APPI Energy with all rights reserved. This concludes today's program. You may now disconnect. Thank you.
Thank you.